The time to make life-changing money during this bull run is running out. Every 4 years, there's a small golden window of opportunity where you can multiply your portfolio faster than ever, but only if you act smart and you act fast. Here's the catch. The later you jump in, the greater the risk of buying the top of the market and watching your portfolio crash. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to position yourself this bull run to get rich. I'll break it all down step by step so you can follow along and use this proven system to turn a few $1,000s into $1 million or more by the end of the bull run. Plus, I'm going to be teaching you strategies and insights you have never heard anywhere else. So grab a pen and paper and take notes and let's get started. My name is BISSBTC and this is my third crypto cycle and I've made every single mistake in the book. So what I'm about to tell you will save you years of learning, time and stress. Back in 2017, during my first crypto cycle, I was an electrical fitter, desperate for an escape out of the rat race. So I put my entire life savings into the highs of the crypto market and I kept buying the dip on a credit card. And you can probably guess what happened. So I lost all of this when Bitcoin crashed from $20,000 down to $6,000. So over the next few years, I needed to do something different and I perfected my technical analysis skills and I came ready for the next bull run, for my second bull run. This time, I took a small $2,000 account and turned it into $500,000 in just 3 months. I kept growing this over the duration of the bull run and I turned it into $5 million in just a few short years. But I wasn't done from here. I called the exact 2021 crypto top cycle on Twitter to all of my followers and I told them to sell their positions and short the markets. And this call was a success. However, in November 2022, I kept all of my money on the FTX exchange collapse and I lost every single penny, from $5 million down to $3,000 all over again. But I never quit. Using the skills that I had built over the years, I rebuilt my portfolio from this $3,000 all the way back and more. The reason I share this with you is simple. Now, I know this system works. I've taken a few $1,000s and turned it into millions, not once, but twice. So now I'm going to show you exactly how I did it and how you can copy this exact system and use it in your own trading too. Because what many people don't realize is that depending on your risk tolerance and your position size, you should trade and act very differently depending on the market conditions we are in. Now, how do you turn $1,000 into $10,000? Now, this is actually the hardest part because you don't have a lot of capital and you may think this is a lot of money to you and but you can't really afford to take risks in your mind. This is why you should always invest with an amount that you can always afford to risk. So this is the hardest part because you actually do need to apply risk hard. This is the area where you need to put in a lot of risk and you need to focus on one thing. In this area, many people focus on so many areas, like, I'm going to get over in a minute, but what you need to do is that you need to focus on one area and go in on it hard. Ignore all of the noise that everyone else speaks about on things like Twitter and, everywhere else. You need to focus on one thing and one thing only to turn $1,000 into $10,000 because you cannot afford to be wrong. So we have prop firms here. What prop firms do is that you get extra capital for your money. You put in $1,000, you get a $100,000 account. You trade and then you get a payout. This is good because you get a $100,000 to $200,000 account. And then if you get a 10% payout, you got $10,000 to $20,000 in pure profit payouts. So this is good. Obviously, you've already then got to $10,000, the next part. But the negative to this is that you have to pass a challenge. But this is the route that I used after I had all of my money stolen from me in an FTX exchange collapse. You can find that out in the video of how I had millions stolen off me and I made it all back. So airdrops. This is where you get free money from the sky. Literally, you get airdropped money in exchange for doing actions. Now, this is good if you're starting off, but number one, you don't really build a skill set for the long haul. You can't really scale this money up and, quit your job off it because it's not consistent enough. However, it is good enough to get to the first $10,000, but I would suggest working on the other areas. And another thing, it's actually hard to find airdrops in 2025 because they are very, very saturated now. Which brings us to trading an account. You trade, you invest, you trade tokens, you trade the markets. Very similar to prop firms, but you are just trading your own personal capital in a trader account. Now, what you need to do here is only focus on highly calculated trades. and then you compound that account. And this is exactly what I do in my 1 to 100K trading challenges. I take all of my students along with me. I literally show them, and the students can copy the exact trades that I am taking. And the trouble here is that you need to be patient. That's all. You just need to wait for the trade setup that you want to take. You take that trade and then stay patient again. The problem is when people think that they must trade all of the time, and that's where the issue arises. Then that brings us to investment. You buy a token, you buy it low and sell it high. You look for coins that multiply. The trouble is that it takes 2 to 3 months to play out. It takes 2 to 3 months to play out. You buy a coin, sometimes it goes sideways, and then the coin pumps. So it takes a little bit of time to pump. And if you do put in $1,000 into this and it only 5x's, you've only come out with $5,000. And you've waited 2 to 3 months for this, which is a little bit of a long time. And one thing to note here is do not diversify. When people join crypto, they are told to invest in the markets and diversify their portfolio in many coins. But if you're this small, you need to only pick one coin only. And you need to be right. So if I was in this area, myself, what I would focus on is prop firms. That's what I did when I had all of my money stolen from me in the FTX collapse. And trading. Here, these are the two main areas that I would focus on until I get more capital, and then I can focus on the next part, which is turning $10,000 into $100,000. So this is how to turn $10,000 into $100,000 very simply. You have more opportunity in this region, so you don't have to go all in, unlike the 1 to 10K area, because you have a little bit more breathing room here. You don't have to be as aggressive. And keep compounding with aggressive risk if you want to multiply your portfolio here, because the second you stop compounding, you start to take profits out, obviously then you kill the compounding process. So if we want to start to scale our prop firms, you can now add multiple accounts. You can start stacking up a 100K account, 100K account, 200K account, and you can have 300 to 400K, 10% payout, 30 to 40K, much better. And then you use your smaller accounts. Let's say if you have a 50K account and you get a $1,000 payout, you use that to buy a bigger account, such as a 100K account or a 200K account. Therefore, you are only trading with profits and then you don't lose money. Or in this region, you can move the profits into trading and investing. Therefore, you can start to grow and compound that account in other areas. So that brings us to the trading. What you need to do in this area, once you've traded from $1,000 to $10,000, in order to get from $10,000 to $100,000, stay consistent. Do not do anything stupid in this area that will reverse all of your gains. And you don't have to risk as much in this area. You don't have to be as aggressive to multiply that portfolio, okay? Because you've actually now got a bit more money. Because it's easy to replace $1,000. It's harder to replace $100,000, you see? That's why we reduce the risk a little bit. And then you can continue compounding this as well. Keep that account scaling, which then, if you want to take your profits from prop firms into investing, then what you do here is you pick 1 or 2 coins only. That is it. You do not need, you need portfolio concentration. You do not need tons and tons of coins like many people say, because you buy 1 coin, your whole portfolio goes up. That's as simple as that. Obviously, these are high probability plays. So obviously, if you limit your downside as well, you know where to cut your trade, you know where to exit your stop loss if you are wrong on your idea to protect that account balance. That's how you can keep compounding those accounts. So if you invest in investing here, if you buy a coin or 2 with the profits from the prop firms, that means you can just buy the coin and then you're not so emotionally invested in that one area, and then you can forget about the coin for a bit, just monitor it daily as you so wish. And then you can focus on your prop firms and trading as well. So now you can run multiple simultaneously. So the next part is going to go from how to go from 100K to 500K. How to go from 100K to $500,000. Now you're probably thinking that this is easier than the rest because it's only a 5x. However, you're playing with a lot of money. And if you've never dealt with $100,000 before, then you're going to need to learn new psychological aspects. So here, well, I'm at the screen. So 2% in this area is the average wage in the West. So if you're $100,000, you earn 2%, that's $2,000, which is an average wage in the West. Obviously, if you're knocking up the $500,000, then obviously that's $10,000 a month, pretty good. You can be a lot more chilled in this area. You don't have to do as much. Now, the account balance is harder to replace in this area. As I just said, $100,000 is much harder to replace. $500,000 is much harder to replace than a few $1,000s, which you can literally just whip up next month from your job. So what do we do in this area? Presuming you've built it up over time using skills and built the skills, you still use prop firms. Now this is a lot smaller section now. You don't have to worry as much about this because obviously say, you know, a 10% payout, 20% payout, well, 10% payout is around 30 to 40K. So, you know, you're gonna need a lot of percentage payouts to hit that $500,000. So what I would do here is I would use the profits as expenses in my life. So say if I want to go out, I would want to pay for rent for the year, well, go do that. So then you can reduce your living expenses and reduce the pressure on you to make money now. Because if you have pressure to make money now, you'll make poor decisions. So what you can use this prop firm money for now as expenses or reinvest into investing and again, trading here. So load up a trading account because obviously you can be more aggressive. Once you're in a $100,000 trading account or $500,000 in this area, there is no need for leverage. You've got a large enough position size right here. Let's say if you put 100K into a token, it does a 30% move. Obviously now you've made 30K, which is a pretty good trade, right? And you continue to do this. So, you know, you don't need leverage. Leverage is a broke boy problem because you don't have the position size on the positions that you so wish. Still, patience. I'm going to keep beating on this point here because in trading, patience is everything, 100%. And as I just said, focus more on risk management because you've got a bit more downside now. If you go from $1,000 down to zero, doesn't matter, replenish it. If you go from $100,000 down, obviously $100,000 is a little bit harder to replace, although you can make it back with aggressive risk again. So that brings us to investing down here. 30K. Let's say you want to play around with your position size in a little bit. I'm just using numbers for example here. 30K into a 10X is a $300,000, which is a lot better than saying putting $1,000 into a 5X, 10X, you only get $10,000. You get much more on your return on investment in this area when you start playing with bigger numbers. But at a 2X, take a little bit of profit because you can hit 2Xs all days of the week in crypto, especially in a bull run. 2Xs happen all of the time. So it's when you start being greedy and you start going for the 10Xs, that's the problem. So 2Xs literally happen every single day in crypto. So take profit at a 2X, okay? And then always keep USDT for dips and crashes. Crashes and dips always come in crypto. So when they come, buy those dips and that's how you make money in investing. So keep doing this and then you'll go from $100,000 to $500,000 while protecting that downside. Which brings us to the next point, $500,000 to $1 million. This is how to trade $500,000 into $1 million. Now, look, you only need a 2X from here. Now, many people think, oh, it's only easy. This is actually easier than the 1 to 10K. Well, it may be easier, but most people mess it up, and I'll tell you why. Now, you only need a 2X from here, and this is where people try to rush it, they try to do it quickly, and this is because of that, they lose it all, because they're trying to get too greedy. So there's no need for greed here, no need for greed. Cut all the greed out, just stick to the high probability trades, the highly calculated trades, and you'll be okay. Stay patient for them, because they will come, and you need to do a lot less work for a lot more money, which is the best position to be in, and that's why you're in trading. So, if you are becoming emotional, go on holiday because going on holiday resets your environment and you get an emotional reset. If you're at home all time and you're watching the charts, you're on social media, you see somebody do something, oh, look at my P&L here, it'll raise your emotional spike, which may cause you to do something that you shouldn't really do. So going on holiday, spend some time away, enjoy yourself because you've got $500,000 to $1 million. That's not going away anytime soon unless you do something stupid. So that's why You need to reduce the risk in this area because obviously your upside is much better. You've got a lot more money. You've got a much larger position size. So when you're trading, stay patient again for the good trades. The high probability trades on the higher time frame only. Only take higher time frame trades. Do not go on the lower time frame with a lot of position size because those candles will make you extremely emotional. And if the numbers are too large for you, what I would suggest is reducing the position sizes, take a small amount of money out and restarting again. And if you are trading with a lot of money and you are okay with the numbers, you do not need to trade often because you only need 2x to go from $500,000 to $1 million. It's a lot easier. So if you are investing, if you're buying tokens low, selling them high, this is what you do. If you're trading high caps, you can get in a high position size, okay? Again, stay patient. You only need a 2x. These high caps move 30% anyway in ranges. So, just if you are putting a high position size in, only stick to high caps. And if you want to trade small caps, only trade with a small position size. Now take 1 grand out, take 10 grand out, take a very small position size of this amount here and put it into small caps. Because if you put a large position size into small caps, the small caps may not have the liquidity for you to do so. You may get slipped hard and you'll just lose a bunch of money in slippage and liquidity problems, which is not what we want here, as we want to reduce that risk because now you've got a larger amount of money that you need to focus on protecting. So if all these numbers are too big for you now, you've got $500,000, just take 100, let's say if you get up to $750,000, etc., and the numbers are too large, just take $100,000 out and restart this whole process again from the previous step, from 100 grand to 500 grand, 500 grand to $1 million. Just restart that process all over again. Then you bank a bunch of money and you can afford to say, have another go if it doesn't go so well. So therefore, you've reduced your risk and you protect your capital as you scale your account. So if you followed this system properly, you should now have $1 million portfolio. Congratulations. And this is the exact same system that I used when FTX stole $5 million off me, and I did it all over again just to prove this isn't just luck. Now I teach this same system to all of my students inside the Take Profit Collective. So if you would like to copy the exact same system that I explained in this video, so you can go from literal 0 to 100 as quickly as possible, if you want to copy the exact same trades and buy the exact same tokens that I'll be buying, then you need to join my private trading community called the Take Profit Collective. I have changed countless of people's lives by creating multiple millionaires and many more six-figure earners through my trades and education and the mentorship that I provide inside. But as I said, the bull run will not last forever, so you have to act fast. And you can visit www.takeprofitcollective.com in the description below, and you can see all of the success stories that we have created inside. And that's it for this video. I hope you found great value out of this, and I will see you all next time. I'm off to the box and watch some boxing now, so I'll see you all later.